So David and I are in the studio today. Welcome back, David.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yes. Say hello to YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
Some of you may recognize David Jr. from the fellow that built the Black Widow, which was a thumbs up project. Helped me out on Overkill and rebuilding Overkill. A great group project that had his dad and grandfather and all of us involved. And many other fun things we've done around here. In fact, David has been around for a lot of these parts going up on the part wall. In fact, there's Rude Boy's trailer right there. Keep it nice and safe and sound. Busted out during the important and exciting times.
Exactly.
Got a couple of props up on the wall. Got some Spectrum controllers for my radios. I've got some brushless motors. Whole bunch of stuff I've been collecting over the years, and it helps for projects, hey? Collecting wherever you can get your stuff. That way, whenever you're ready to go, you're ready to go. And
some crazy inspiration then too.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Sometimes I go to the parts wall just to figure out what the heck am I building. That Jeep up there is a project I've been wanting to do for a very long time. And there's my retirement project. I started off with the Toyota Tundra, and I'll probably retire with the Toyota Tundra.
That's the way to go.
But how many years has that been sitting there, though? People shouldn't be worried.
Well, I don't know. It's been there since I've been here.
Yep. Okay, so on the bench today, David came by because at the time of this filming, we're hitting quite a few new records on our YouTube channel. Yeah. And we figure it is appropriate to have HD Overkill, dun 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 dun, which has been totally disassembled. People are like, "Oh my God, we haven't seen Overkill in forever," and it's just disassembled. But
again,
yeah, again, hey, this is like round what, 4, 5? Yeah. I started Project Overkill basically by putting together a axial dingo kit. And I kind of went crazy. I ended up putting in a couple of motors, and then I put in a couple more motors with 2 transmissions and made it into a dually. We hadn't seen a lot of dualies at that time. Yeah. You know, and I think it was my big Chevy top kick body, which I still have.
Do you?
Oh yeah, man, it's here, yeah. And then it kind of morphed into HD Overkill because you met me and you kind of wanted to get a hand on redesigning and having some fun RC stuff. Yep. And so we had a plan to do HD Overkill with brushless motors and a sound kit and a smoker kit. Yeah, we still have the brushless motors here. Yeah, it's just a big bundle of motors. And people that are familiar and fans of HD Overkill are noticing a whole bunch of things just by this rig sitting here right now. Yep. Can you tell me some of the differences we're looking at?
Well, your blue shocks that are hard to find.
So these blue shocks are the Intigi MSR 10s, I believe. Finding them in blue is darn near impossible. They had purple, green, blue, and silver. Now, I've been a fan of the silver shocks for a long time. I've got many of them, as we both know. A ridiculous amount of old shocks. Shall we even go in and show them the shock drawer? This one right here. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I'm a fan of those shocks. But for Optimus Overkill, which people that have been watching the show know that I've been interested in doing the Optimus Overkill kind of retrofit with some of the old Transformers themes that I love. Yep. That's why we've got the blue. We're still, what kind of axle housings are we running on this thing?
We got Vanquish front and rear and SDX10 through in the middle.
So a standard through plastic housing, so we can get the drive shafts running from these amazing motors straight through to have a back-driven back axle there.
That steers as well.
Yes, so all 3 of the axles are going to steer. They are the Savox SW1210SG high. Yeah, they are really, really strong. I think 277 ounces of torque, and they're waterproof. Had these on these axles for a long time. Finally excited to get them running in a 6-wheel steering, 6-wheel drive setup. Yeah. So, go ahead. Keep going.
Well, from the back up, we haven't changed too much. Yeah. But in the center,
this is a major change, I see.
So we've gone, we'll start with why we've got brushed motors here.
Yeah, I thought it was brushless.
It was brushless.
And
brushless worked. It was extremely hard to pull off, as we both know. Mm-hmm. And many people said we couldn't do it, but we did.
Yeah.
But it was just a crazy mess of wires, because we had brushless 15 wires going to each motor, right?
Yes.
12 for the sensor wire and 3 free for
Exactly.
power.
So we would have had 4 sensor wires, like 1 per motor, plus 3 motors or 3 wires per motor.
So just crazy amounts.
Yeah, and the ESCs, 4 ESCs strapped to it. And one of the main issues we had,
it wasn't waterproof.
And timing, man.
Yeah.
Getting them all to line up at once, getting all the pinions to move at once, even though it was censored brushless, getting these censored brushless Rock 412s to move all at the same time without getting any kind of motors fighting each other.
Yeah.
Almost did it.
You know, I think the only reason we almost did it is Deacon's high craftsmanship, because motors have to be perfectly exactly the same.
Yep.
And I think we only had one that kind of jittered out.
We did have that one. I do remember watching that issue. And the other thing we figured out, and really thanks to you, was to flip these transmissions.
Yeah.
Everybody's noticing right now, hey, didn't we have these all standing up before?
Yeah.
And the answer is yes. I'm going to come around to the other side because it shows the plate that you made.
Yeah.
We talked about how we wanted the spur gears on the front to look like flywheels.
Yep.
And we needed to have the motors underneath the Optimus Overkill body. Yes.
Yep.
Which would make sense because we want to have motors near the front. Here, let's have a look at these spur gears. See how they're mounted, everybody? We're going to have the pinions running the spur gear, but since we have them mounted on the side, it looks like a serious semi-truck pulling engines, man.
Huge diesel.
Huge! That's exactly right. So go ahead, explain to me why we flipped it on their side.
Overkill's, I guess the enemy of Overkill throughout the years has always been Driveshaft Angles.
Yes.
And we could have just dropped the transmissions down straight and made mounts with the plates lower.
Sure.
But you have to widen the frame wheels or grind them out.
Right.
We didn't really want to do that. This frame is already, it's strong, but we can't weaken it.
We have drilled many holes. We have extended and welded and glued and
all sorts of stuff.
Yep.
So we rotated on its side, and we got the output shafts are actually in line with the frame rail now.
Yeah, that's right.
They used to sit up about here.
So the drive shafts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that lowered about a centimeter.
Yeah.
Which gives us enough drive shaft that we can have the
ultra extended.
And it doesn't bind anymore.
Yeah, I'm so happy to see that. When we have a dropped drive shaft, and our whole goal here is to have these drive shafts as straight as possible, right? We want the power transferring from both transmissions going down straight as possible, not losing anything in the angle of the universal joint there, basically.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we've got one that's here. It's not installed right now. We're shortening up a drive shaft so we can have a powered back axle as well, hence the 6x6.
Yep.
So cool, man. That's one thing that helped big time in lowering the drive shaft and getting that angle worked out was these motors turned on the side. David, you made a nice plate for those motors to be mounted up.
Right there.
Right there.
So it just bolts to the frame rails, and then these are the transmission bolt holes.
That's simple and ideal, hey?
And you can do that.
Nice and strong.
Yep, it's like high quality stainless steel, so I don't think we're going to bend it.
No, I don't think so. And we've been putting in more and more supports. There's going to be another support that goes back here to really stiffen up the frame.
Yep.
So that's going to be handy.
That's what those are for.
Yeah, exactly. Here, let me get in there.
Many people ask, well, there's nothing here.
Yeah.
We can't put nothing here due to the center drive shaft.
That's exactly right.
But we've got these.
Those are supports that are actually link hangers as well, right? So not only are they chassis supports, but they're also a pivot point for, yeah, exactly. Look at the nice twist we got on that.
Yep.
Such a complicated machine, wouldn't you say?
Yes, probably the most complex I've worked on.
Some people are saying, why the heck would you even have 4 motors?
Why not?
You know, well, and 2 batteries and 3 servos, and isn't that the whole point of Project Overkill?
Yep.
It's way too much.
Exactly.
So it takes a little bit of extra planning. It takes a little bit of extra ingenuity and creativity, and that is why I've got somebody like David around, because 2 heads are better than 1, yeah?
Amen to that.
Especially when you're out trying to do something unique and fun. And I know Overkill is certainly going to turn out to be that. Why don't we end this with you getting the body and kind of lining up where the bumper is supposed to be?
Okay.
So something like this. So this is a unique bumper that we're using.
That should sit there now.
This is a Proline based. It's actually not metal. It looks like it is, but this huge bumper itself is plastic, keeping this part of the rig light at least. Yep. That was part of the reason we had issues before, is that Overkill was so heavy on just 2 pairs of shocks or 1 pair of shocks up front. Yeah. Let's see that bod, dude. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Nice. Look at that. It's going to fit perfect with that bumper on there. Loving it. There. Yeah. Sweet, man.
This body is amazing.
I'm turning up the exposure so we can really get a good view at that. Wow. The hand paint job that we did just from Bloodshot Customs and the work that we're doing on this rig, it is going to be huge. This thing's going to stand so tall.
It's going to be overkill.
Yeah, it's totally going to be overkill. Thanks a lot, brother. I appreciate all your help. Yeah, bumping it up. Boom. Okay, see you guys. If you guys want to check out more RC adventures, and maybe I can keep some of my shots in focus next time. Here, give me another bump on that. That was 2. Boo! See you guys. Make sure you're subscribed. Bye!